video recorder.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms.Peak, do you lead the 7th period tutoring class?
I do.
Okay. And J-Ron was a student in that class?
Yes, he was.
All right. And was he being tutored, or was he getting, or was he tutoring others?
I'll tell you what. He was assigned to me as a tutor. But, come on. 17 years old, he's taking freshman English. He's assigned to me as a tutor. I'm guessing because we don't have a study hall and he needed a place to stay.
And
yeah, he's down here.
So what kind of student would you say he was?
And back to just the same thing. 17 years old, taking freshman English with Mr. Brinley. Really wasn't a good student at all.
Okay.
You know, he was a terrible student.
All right. And did you ever have any disciplinary problems with him?
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what, J-Ron was a problem. J-Ron was a problem from the beginning, okay? He's put in his tutoring class, and I'll tell you what, he was disruptive, disrespectful, rude, mean. J-Ron caused more problems in here than I want to tell you about. People would come in here to be tutored, and J-Ron would ridicule them, want to know why they were in here, what they needed help with. Yeah, he was causing issues here.
And what about the vase?
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you two things. You know, J-Ron and I have had problems all year long. I'll admit that. I talked with Mr. Stevens numerous times. You know, Mr. Stevens, the security guard, Mr. Stevens, numerous times. And, you know, he would talk with them. We'd try. We did our best. January, J-Ron was in here with sunglasses on. Wouldn't take them off, so I called Mr. Stevens down, escorted him out of here. And thank goodness, you know, we could get some tutoring done without J-Ron in here. Yeah, we've had some other issues also.
Okay, all right. And then, do you know why he broke your vase? Because I know that was a pretty big deal.
That was a big deal. He was in here in early March, again, being J-Ron. He was in here, and I had people in here being tutored, and he was giving them a hard time. And he had his shoes off, okay? J-Ron, you need to put your shoes back on. I mean, would you take your shoes off during class? Come on. He takes his shoes off, and then he throws them at the people being tutored. Now, I mean, admittedly, he was taunting them, so they were doing some back and forth. He threw one shoe at them, and then I told him to quit, and that's when he threw the shoe at the vase. Broke the vase.
Right.
Yes.
So, was he angry when he broke the vase, or was he just kind of horsing around?
I don't know. When I told him to quit throwing the shoe at the other person, that's when he threw the shoe at the vase, and he knew it was a vase that I liked, okay? You know, he knew it was an expensive vase, okay? My parents had sent it here. They had it delivered to Eastern because we had to sign for it. So, you know, nobody at home, they sent it here. Yeah, he knew I liked it.
So
was he angry? I don't know.
How'd you feel when he broke that vase?
Well, not happy. You know, talked with him about it, told him he needed to pay for it, told him again he needed to pay for it, called his dad, nothing.
And did you ever get paid for the vase?
No.
Or no, nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. And how'd you feel about J-Ron just in general?
J-Ron was mean. J-Ron was, as I said, disrespectful. J-Ron caused problems. But I'll tell you what, J-Ron didn't deserve to be murdered.
So you were the one that discovered the body, is that right?
I did, yes.
And what were you doing when you found it?
It was a Friday afternoon, March 27th. He was in here talking, okay? He would talk about going up on the roof a lot. He talked about that throughout the year. Gonna go up on the roof. Come on. You know, there's no reason to go up on the roof. J-Ron was talking about that again. I was hanging around here doing work, okay? Like I usually do. Getting ready for next week. And I remember J-Ron talking about that, and I just decided before I left that day I was going to go up and find J-Ron on the roof.
So that's why you were up on the 3rd floor, and since your class is in the basement?
Yep.
So you were planning on going right before you left?
I was planning on going, yeah. I knew J-Ron was in detention that day, and I figured he was in detention till about 3:30. I'm not sure what time detention ends. So I figured, okay, I'll just take a little walk upstairs. So actually I didn't walk upstairs, I took the elevator. Took the elevator up to the 3rd floor, and planning on heading up the staircase to the roof.
So the stairwell where J-Ron was found was secluded, so that's why you were up there? You were just going to go check on him, see if he was up there?
I wanted to see what was going on. You know, if I couldn't get him to pay for my vase, I could at least buy him a few more days in detention, or maybe suspension, I don't know.
Okay. Do you know about any type of drug use throughout the building?
Through the years, I've heard a lot of talk about drugs here at Eastern. Just hearsay, you know, so I guess Eastern, like any school, has some drug issues. J-Ron didn't talk about drugs. You know, if it relates back to J-Ron, I never heard J-Ron talking about drugs.
What about... Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
You know, if I was pressed to name a few students who might be involved, J-Ron would have been on the list.
What about the faculty?
I've never heard anything about the faculty being involved with drugs. We really have a strong faculty here. I don't think that's an issue.
So you mentioned that you didn't think J-Ron should have been murdered. What do you think should happen to the person who killed J-Ron?
Well, hopefully they're going to be arrested.
Just arrested, or do you think that the hammer should come down on him?
I think they should be arrested. I mean, after that, it's up to the courts, but I'm certainly hoping that the courts are not going to tolerate a murder in a school.
Is there anything else important that you think we should know?
Yeah, you ought to know a little more about before I found the body. I went up to the 3rd floor by the elevator. When I got up to the 3rd floor, started walking toward stairwell C, I saw a man running toward me.
How tall was that man? Do you remember any description of him?
I just remember he was thin. You know, he was pretty far away. I saw him running toward me, and then when he looked up and saw me, once he saw me, he turned around and ran the other way. Ran down to stairwell D. He was thin. All I can tell you is he was thin. It's about about a half a football field maybe, distance away, so it was pretty far away, but I don't remember much else. You know, my eyes are kind of tired at the end of the day. Even now it's hard to see here at the end of the day, but from what I remember, he was thin.
Thin? Well,
yep.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
I'm trying to think, there might be, you know, you probably want to know what I did when I saw the body.
Oh, yes, very much so.
All that happened, you know, I walked toward the stairwell. I saw J-Ron lying there. I mean, he was surrounded by blood. There was a lot of blood. I ran downstairs, ran to the front office. The only person there was Ms. Bowling. Got hold of Ms. Bowling. She went up, and she went upstairs, and I went home. You know, nobody needed me anymore. Okay, I went home Friday night.
Didn't stick around to talk to the police or anything
No,
like that?
nobody asked me to. Like I said, I figured Ms. Bowling, she has everything under control. You know, she had it all under control. I went home, had pizza, that was it, Friday night.
Okay. I think that'll do it for today.
Okay.
Thank you very much
You
for
are
your
very welcome.
cooperation. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.